It's really quite something to think about that you listening right now have this direct line back to the giants that ruled the earth. I mean, dinosaurs, of course.
Hmm.
And, it's not just some abstract concept. Today we're diving deep into how dinosaurs actually became the birds we see everywhere.
Exactly. And we've looked at some really fascinating research for this deep dive. It covers, what, 230 million years? It's incredible.
Wow.
Our plan is to unpack this whole evolutionary journey, look at the key evidence, and hopefully share some insights that might just change how you see, well, a pigeon.
Um,
All without getting bogged down in too much jargon. You should expect some real aha moments today.
okay, sounds great. So let's start way back, the Triassic period, over 230 million years ago. Now, when you think early dinosaurs, you probably picture huge stomping beasts, right?
That's the classic image, yeah. But the thing is, the very first dinosaurs, they were actually quite different.
Huh?
The Triassic world, it was hot, it was dry, and the dinosaurs popping up then were mostly small, two-legged reptiles. Small. Not the giants.
No, not yet. Think fast, nimble, surprisingly light. Honestly, more like a bird in build than, say, a Brontosaurus.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it seems like the genes for, gigantism, they
Yeah.
weren't really switched on yet, or maybe they were suppressed. Different evolutionary pressures back then, it seems.
Huh. Okay, so that view's already shifting. Fast forward then to the Jurassic. The Golden Age, right?
Yeah.
Brachiosaurus, Allosaurus, the big names.
The classic lineup, huge animals dominating the landscape. But alongside them, something else was happening, something pretty unexpected.
Which was
Feathers.
feathers on Jurassic giants.
Well, not necessarily the giants, but definitely on some dinosaurs during this period.
Yeah.
And here's the key thing. These early feathers, they weren't for flying.
Right, I think I've heard that. So what were they for?
The thinking is insulation mostly. Keeping warm, maybe suggesting they were becoming warm-blooded, endothermic.
Or perhaps for display, showing off, like modern birds do with bright plumage. Imagine, like, a fierce predator, but with this colorful, maybe fuzzy coat.
That is a weird image. It really challenges the scaly monster idea.
It absolutely does.
So how do we know all this? I mean, it sounds like guesswork, but it's based on evidence, right? Fossils must be key. Nature's time capsules.
Precisely. Fossils are everything. They give us the concrete proof, the snapshots of these changes. And there was one discovery, really pivotal, back in 1861 in Germany.
Oh, you must mean Archaeopteryx.
That's the one, Archaeopteryx.
Explain for everyone listening, why was that fossil such a bombshell?
Well, Archaeopteryx was just this amazing mix. It had teeth like a dinosaur, claws on its wings, again, very dinosaur-like.
Okay.
But then it also had clear wings and, crucially, feathers. Crop of feathers structured like a modern bird's.
The perfect hybrid.
Exactly. It instantly became famous as this missing link. And it really sharpened the question, were birds just cousins of dinosaurs, or did they actually come from them?
And the evidence now points pretty strongly in one direction, doesn't it? Towards a specific group.
Yes, the theropods.
Theropods. Okay, break that down.
So theropods were generally small, agile, meat-eating dinosaurs. Think Velociraptor, though maybe not quite like the movie version.
Okay.
They had three-toed feet, hollow bones, traits we now see as leading directly to birds. This is the lineage.
So over millions of years, these theropods changed.
That's the story the fossils tell us. They generally got smaller. Their bones became even more hollow, much lighter, essential for flight, obviously.
Right.
And those claws, those forelimbs, they gradually transformed into wings. It's this step-by-step modification.
It's just staggering to think about, from running on the ground to taking to the air.
It really is. And it's not just a loose connection. The evidence is overwhelming now. Birds literally evolved from these theropod dinosaurs.
So when you say T-Rex,
Yep. The mighty T-Rex, king of the predators, shares ancient ancestors with, the robin in your garden.
oh,
Birds aren't just like dinosaurs. They are dinosaurs. Modern-day dinosaurs.
that completely reframes things.
Oh.
Okay, but then the asteroid. 66 million years ago.
Yeah.
The big one. That's curtains for the dinosaurs, right? End of the age.
That was the inflection point, absolutely.
Gee.
A massive asteroid hits the Yucatan Peninsula. Chaos ensues.
Like what?
We're talking unimaginable earthquakes, firestorms sweeping the globe, then so much dust and soot thrown up that it causes a kind of nuclear winter, a global winter blocking out the sun.
Devastating.
Utterly. It triggered a mass extinction. Most of the dinosaur lines, gone, wiped out.
Crucially,
Yeah.
not all of them. You said most.
Exactly. Not all. Some survived.
And let me guess.
Uh-huh.
The survivors were.
The small ones, the feathered ones, the ones that had already developed flight, or at least gliding.
That's the protobirds.
Pretty much. Their small size meant they needed less food, which was suddenly scarce. Flight let them escape the immediate devastation, maybe find pockets where food was still available. These were the ancestors of all modern birds.
So the birds we see today, from eagles to sparrows, they are the direct descendants of the dinosaurs that made it through that cataclysm.
That's exactly it. They are the living legacy. When you see a hawk dive, or hear a robin sing, or watch a pelican glide, you're seeing the continuation of that dinosaur lineage.
Wow.
Think about their anatomy. The hollow bones are still there, the way they walk. Even bits of their breathing systems echo their ancestors. Every flap, every song. It's like, the next page in a 230 million-year-old book.
And it's a book that's still being written, isn't it?
Yeah.
You mentioned ongoing research. We're still finding things out.
Absolutely. That's the exciting part. New fossils turn up all the time, everywhere. China's been a hot spot recently.
Right.
And each find adds a bit more detail, sometimes confirms things, sometimes makes us rethink parts of the story. It's not static. Science is always refining the picture.
It really does make you look at the world differently.
Yeah.
Even just the birds outside the window.
It should. You know, we've covered this vast sweep of time, seeing these incredible changes, this huge disaster, and it all leads to the familiar birds around us.
So a final thought then for you listening. Next time you see a pigeon, strutting about, or maybe a hawk circling way up high, just pause for a second. Remember, you're not just looking at a bird. You're looking at a living dinosaur. A direct link back to those ancient rulers of the planet.
It's a pretty profound thought, isn't it? It speaks volumes about evolution, about survival, and about how much we're still learning. There's always more to discover in this amazing story of life.